Terry fans here, in the mood for another video game idea I'd like to talk about. We already had a game based on Hasbro's successful Transformer line, War for Cybertron, which in my opinion is the best Transformer game ever created. When it comes to Transformer games, there's War for Cybertron, then there's everything else. I'm just saying. Well, let me ask everybody a question. Wouldn't it be cool if G.I. Joe had their own successful video game? I mean, you had a couple of games on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and of course the movie game was released. I never played it, but I'm just making a point. But what I'd like to see happen is a game based off G.I. Joe, but it's inspired in the same format as War for Cybertron, where you get an original story. Basically, I'd like to see a G.I. Joe game where you get to learn about the past of G.I. Joe members and find out what was the rise of Cobra. What I mean by that is, what was the reason and what was the origins, I should put, for Cobra. You know, where the group come from, and learn about the members like Baroness Destro, Zartan, the Dreadnoks, Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, among others, and learn about the past for G.I. Joe members, Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes, Roadblock, and others. I would like to see a game where you learn about the origins of the characters we all know and love from G.I. Joe. Basically, here's how I would start the game. I would start the game like talking about the early days of Cobra, where we learn about how Cobra was created, and instead of Cobra Commander being a alien like they portrayed him in G.I. Joe the movie. And which reminds me, if y'all want me to review that, please comment below. I'm talking about the movie, the animated movie, not the live action movie. Anyway, I would start off creating a new origins for Cobra Commander. Like he could have been somebody who was drove into madness and began Cobra. Then you learn about the origins of Destro, how he got the mask, and where Baroness got involved, and so forth. And same thing for the G.I. Joe. Basically, that's how I start off the game. Was basically we learn about the origins of Cobra, and talking about, and it goes on telling the story of G.I. Joe, how G.I. Joe was created. And we learn about Duke's past, Scarlet's past, Snake Eyes, Duke's, and Scarlet's, among others, all the favorite G.I. Joe characters. And if I had to title the game, I would call it G.I. Joe Origins. Basically, that'd be the title. It was basically learning about the past of Cobra and G.I. Joe. I know there's been many comic books and episodes describing it, but a game would be just as cool. For gameplay, I would have it be a mix of like Batman Arkham Asylum and War for Cybertron, whereas basically you get to have combat, one-on-one combat, and use an arsenal of weapons. That's how I would start. Basically, that's what War for Cybertron was. I believe it was inspired by the success of Batman Arkham Asylum, because they took a licensed product and made it just flawless. Both War for Cybertron and Batman Arkham Asylum. Both games were just flawless. They basically did something that fans wanted for so long, was have a licensed merchandise of a famous character, of a famous of a famous superhero or toy line and make it just right. And that's what both games did. That's basically how this game would be inspired by. It was be Transformers War for Cybertron and Batman Arkham Asylum had the two styles of gameplay combined. You get puzzle. You had to solve puzzles, perform rescue missions, and try some stealth missions as well. Where you have, like, if you're playing the Snake Eyes, you have to sneak into the Cobra base without being caught. The controls would be just right as well. Be again inspired by Batman Arkham Asylum. The music, I would have basically an original score, where you had a person who was well known as from the fans, and basically make the music very good. It would be a mix of heavy metal, rock, and suspense music. Basically, you get the right kind of music for the game. And as for the cast, I would try to get as many of the original actors as possible to reprise their roles that made them famous. And basically, that's what I would do. There'd be collector's editions as well, like the PS3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii and PC would all have their collector's editions, where you get a DVD of the best G.I. Joe episodes, interviews, and stuff like that. That's basically what collector's edition I like to see. This is just an idea. I like to see a new G.I. Joe video game be made and be inspired by Transformers War for Cybertron and Batman Arkham Asylum. If y'all agree, let me hear about it. Take care. Yo, Joe.